Hello, welcome to the AgroTalk Podcast from the Sustainable Agriculture Network. We invite you to like, share, and comment on this episode, and to follow the Sustainable Agriculture Network on social media to know more about this global impact network. SAN is transforming agriculture towards a sustainable and equitable future for communities and nature. Today we are joined by José Joaquin Campos, Chief Executive Officer of SAN, to talk about the new and ambitious strategic plan for 2025 to 2030. Thank you for joining the podcast, José Joaquin.
Thank you, Jason. It's a pleasure to be here and share with people our ambitious strategic plan that we have developed and that we are sure that it's fit for purpose for the challenges we're facing today.
Do you start by explaining the vision behind this strategic plan and why is it so pivotal for the future of sustainable agriculture?
During our workshops, we came with a vision statement that I love, and that says, healing and nourishing our extraordinary planet. That is what is moving us to develop such an ambitious plan. SAN's mission is to transform agriculture, to make it sustainable, to make it equitable. So we started very intense 1-year process, engaging members, staff, clients, donors, experts, and finally we came with our strategic plan that we know is challenging, but that had to be our response to the moments humanity is facing today.
What were some of the lessons that you captured during this planning process that were incorporated in this new version of a strategic plan for SAN?
During our previous strategic plan, we came with the vision of making SAN a global impact network. And that global impact network had to be based in collaboration. Today, we say radical collaboration. So what we have learned is how important it is collaboration. It's not just a concept, an academic idea. No, it's a practical way of working to make our work more impactful. So that's one lesson. The other lesson is that it's not that easy. Of course, it requires awareness. Each of us, I can talk about myself. When you want to promote collaboration, you need to hear a lot and sometimes don't talk a lot. Listen and support people. And in our case, we found that the role of the secretariat, we have a 34-member organization, and we have a secretariat. And we came with the conclusion that the role of the secretariat is more of an orchestrator. So to engage our members and strategic partners and others into multi-stakeholder partnerships that are effective, that deliver value for money, that are impactful. So, and the other thing is, in these 5 years of the previous strategic plan, agriculture has become an even more important sector. This is something that I have seen after so many years of working in international development. Agriculture is finally seen as a low-hanging fruit because it's a great part of the problem, but also a great part of the solution. And a great deal of the solutions, of the knowledge is already there that could be implemented.
And it's no secret that humanity is facing a lot of crises at this time. There's climate change, there's biodiversity loss, poverty as well as affecting communities. And this strategic plan is very ambitious in integrating 4 pillars, which are the global impact of the network itself, climate action, biodiversity, and community resilience. How do these interconnect to drive that systemic change that SAN is looking for?
Yes, all those crises that you mentioned, it's been called polycrisis, and they are also interconnected. Similarly, solutions in agriculture are also interconnected. For example, we are addressing climate change, biodiversity loss, improving rural livelihoods. Those are the big 3 impact goals that we are planning, using another one, which is building SAN as a global impact network. So, and there are lots of opportunities for synergies to address those challenges. For example, you could not address climate change mitigation without addressing biodiversity loss. So, if you enhance, for example, biodiversity in the soils, you will enhance the capacity of those soils to sequester carbon. And at the same time, you will be producing healthier products, which is good for human health, human nutrition. So, and also when you integrate agroecological practices, you are also enhancing the livelihoods of the people, not only farmers or farm workers, but also consumers. One challenge that we're facing that we haven't mentioned is human health, obesity, malnutrition. And when we have better ecosystems, better soils, better agro-ecosystems, those ecosystems will produce more nutritious and healthier food that will address human health. That's an opportunity also for the agricultural sector and the health sector to work together.
And you also mentioned the fact that this global impact network is working across the world to drive these changes, drive this systemic change. How does the network foster collaboration, knowledge sharing across its members, and why is that critical to drive that systemic change and achieve the plan's goals?
Yes, it's very important. We're a global network, but we need also to implement what the Convention on Biodiversity called the subsidiarity principle, which is the problems that are being faced will be better solved by those closer to the problem. So it's the localization of these solutions. So you need to understand the global challenges, but also provide local solutions. And this is what our Global Impact Network provides. We discuss about those global issues that we're facing, but then we implement local solutions with our members who are based in Africa or Asia or Latin America or Europe, the US. So, but to make this collaboration more effective, using again the subsidiarity principle, we are implementing regional hubs. For some regions, for example, Southeast Asia, or the Amazon, or Mesoamerica, East Africa, West Africa, these regions are already organized in sometimes political institutions, but they share, in many cases, similar languages, cultural aspects, agroecological conditions. Sometimes they grow the same crops. So, and they are already interacting. So the idea is to decentralize this collaboration with the regional hub, but under this orchestration again from the Secretariat providing lessons from other regional hubs. So, and there are lots of opportunities to collaborate. Our members, most of them, they say, well, we joined the network because we want to exchange knowledge. And this is key and this is important. So when we are designing a knowledge management system where members could contribute with data, with tools, with lessons that could be exchanged with other members. And the idea is that the more collaboration you implement through that knowledge management system, the more you will win. For example, we are proposing, I think it's very innovative, what we call data-based membership fee system. So instead of members paying a fee, is a fee based in money. It will be a fee represented by collaborative tokens in different ways. So we believe this is enhancing the collaborative intelligence. So collaboration can be measured by the CQ. Experts in collaborative intelligence say it's called the CQ, the coefficient of intelligence of a collective. And this could be enhanced. So we are implementing different ways to enhance the collaborative intelligence of the network, of the regional hubs. We're also thinking in designing commodity platforms where our members that have can share knowledge about a common commodity, a common crop. Even if that crop is planted in America or in Africa and Asia, they can share knowledge, and that would make more effective the work that our members implement in the field.
And all these examples bring back to the concept of radical collaboration that's in the strategic plan, not just collaboration, but radical collaboration, where everyone is going beyond what is customary in nonprofit and in the development sector. So it's exciting to see what all of these initiatives are going to bring forth in the coming years. I wanted to jump to another topic, which is empowering communities, because the work that SAN does is not just about the environment and biodiversity and agriculture, but also the people that depend on ecosystems and that work with ecosystems to produce agriculture, produce the food that we eat. Could you talk about how SAN is going to work to empower communities and in which ways it's going to achieve this?
Yes, the changes, the transformational changes that we need to make in our world requires every landscape, every piece of land in this planet to be transformed. So there are different stakeholders, corporations, for example. Those supply chains need to be transformed, but also rural landscapes with communities need to be changed. So in the case of rural communities, rural landscapes, we have developed a signature program, Terra Viva, which actually works in enhancing and strengthening the governance of that landscape, supporting local stakeholders to design their own vision, the action plan for their territory. We call it a common territorial agenda. And so we support those local stakeholders to get together to see the future they want to have in that landscape, produce that plan. And then another tool that we have, this is Terra Viva. So this is an approach. Terra Viva is an approach to support rural communities. Another one is related to, okay, those communities would benefit by having monitoring systems, because by collecting data and seeing what is happening in their fields, they could make decisions to improve their landscapes, their farms. And this is what we call the CIMAS, the Community-Based Monitoring and Assurance System. And we are developing that program, which is amazing to see local people owning, because at the end we support them, but it's their data. So with that data, they can see what is going on with the rivers, with the chemicals they're using that might block the access to markets. If they are, for example, in one case, farmers are selling organic coffee. They found that there are some molecules that are not allowed. With this monitoring system, they could detect and then make decisions to address the problem. So I see this as different from what has been done. Instead of a top-down approach where people from outside get information, they keep the data. In this case, it's their own, the farmers, young people usually, who collect data and then do the analysis, and they will see what is happening in their landscape. And that's a much more sustainable way of transforming farms and landscapes.
I personally had the opportunity to get to know these projects up close, and fortunately, we'll have the project managers of the Terroria project and the CIMAS project in future episodes of the podcast, because they do seem like impactful projects for what the communities there and communities abroad need. Let's jump into why SAN is an important partner for diverse stakeholders to work with. Why do you think SAN is positioned as a preferred partner for corporations, for institutions, and individuals that want to also support this work of sustainable agriculture?
Yes, before I answer your question, I didn't mention that we have two other strategic programs, signature programs.
Go
one
ahead.
is Co-Ambition, which is the program that we have designed to support corporations implement their ESG programs, because we believe that we must have corporations, the private sector, engage in transforming agriculture. They invest billions of dollars into the agricultural sector. They become the market for many small or medium farmers or larger farmers. So that's one. And the other one is Eco Oasis. Eco Oasis is our signature program to implement nature-based solutions. So the agriculture we are implementing today, the industrial model, the industrial paradigm, is heavy on chemical molecules. However, our extraordinary planet has developed many solutions already. Natural enemies, for example, pollinators. So in many other sectors, they are learning by watching nature, and they develop processes, products. And in agriculture, we are doing that by inventorying the pests and diseases, selecting understanding what are the natural enemies, the habitats that those natural enemies need, and then we create the conditions for those nature-based solutions to be successful. So why SAN? Why SAN is a good partner? We believe that by designing and implementing effective multi-stakeholder partnerships, we will deliver value for money. We are at this moment 34 members in all continents, and this is growing rapidly. And all our members, they have the same mindset, collaboration, radical collaboration instead, and with the same vision, which is transforming agriculture. So is a corporation that works with SAN doesn't have to start every time again with a new multi-stakeholder partnership. We have the connections, we have the trust. Trust is critical in having radical collaboration. So we have members who trust each other, who trust the secretariat. So this is value for money. This is impactful interventions. And also we are very much focused in this kind of agriculture. We have a track record together, the 34 members and the secretariat, of implementing sustainable agriculture, regenerative agriculture, and very important, and again, something that I mentioned before, any partner, if they want to work in Africa or in the Amazon or in Southeast Asia, we could assemble quickly a group of organizations with people who know the socioeconomic context, political context, who know sometimes even the people who are in the field. It's not that our people need to go and learn where we're going to start working. So I think SAN offers those conditions so that projects will be impactful quickly because we don't have much time. I hope that I can communicate my sense of urgency that we need to provide solutions to our planet, to our people as soon as possible. And 2030 is there, very close to us.
Yeah, 2030 is right around the corner, and
Right.
organizations are looking for partners that don't just have this global vision of what these problems are, but also are able to put boots on the ground and have action knowledge, cultural knowledge, community knowledge right there to implement these impactful programs. Could you speak a bit more about that combination between the global vision and this boots on the ground approach that SAN also delivers for its partners?
Yes, I think SAN represents this term that some people have coined, which is glocalization, is to think globally, but to act locally. So, for example, in SAN, we have constant communications globally across all continents with members. We have annual general assemblies where we discuss about key topics. So it's trying to align our work with the global priorities, for example, with the SDGs, with the climate convention, the biodiversity convention. So we are clear about those global priorities, global needs. However, nothing will change unless that change happens in a farm, in a landscape. And this is what SAN has. With 34 members, we are reaching some 4 million hectares among all members in 120 countries. And those are local organizations, national organizations. So if we want to work in one specific country, we have a member who knows the people in the ministries, the private sector. So we could establish quickly interventions that will understand the context in those countries. And our members in the last 5 years, they have learned to get together. After the pandemic, we have met twice already in general assemblies, and we have found that they are so important because we take 1 week for all members and secretariat staff. And even last year, we had clients joining us to discuss these priorities. So I think this combination of having a global impact network with clear understanding of the local needs is key for success.
Now, looking ahead at the challenges that are coming in these years and this very complex context that the world is in, what do you think are the most important challenges, but also the opportunities that SAN will have to achieve this vision that is laid out in its 2025 to 2030 strategic plan?
Yes, we understand that we have designed a very ambitious plan. And then to achieve that, we need to really be very effective in implementing that radical collaboration in practical ways, understanding. So implementing all those things, it's a challenge because we are short of time, but I think we could do it. I think probably the most important challenge is the need for funders, could be corporations or could be institution donors, individuals, foundations, to invest more. Agriculture is by far, in my opinion, the low-hanging fruit. It is the best return on the investment. So we need all those investors to increase the amount of investment they are directing towards agriculture. And I'm sure that we could provide important solutions to those challenges.
And for the corporations, the institutions, and the individuals even who are interested in collaborating with SAN, how can they get involved and support this ambitious strategy?
Well, we would love to partner with all of them that you have mentioned. So we are open to have conversations with them to understand what are their needs, what are the objectives, and design interventions that will be fit for purpose. So we have our website where those corporations, owners, philanthropists could see and will be willing. We have staff in our secretariat located in different continents as well. So it would be easier for us to engage in conversations. And for individual donors, they can donate. We have in our website also the option for individuals to donate. And if they are US citizens, we even offer the possibility to have their donations being tax exempt, because we have a sister organization which is called Friends of Sustainable Agriculture, and they are a 501c3. So any donation would qualify to be tax deductible.
Awesome. Thank you for joining the podcast, José Joaquin. We are excited to see what SAN achieves through its Global Impact Network in the coming years.
Thank you, Jason. It's been a pleasure being with you.